Namo Meter boats, Namo Meter boats, Namo Meter boats. I apologize if my voice sounds tired. I'm kind of beat from physical work, hauling rocks. You can see now we've got a semicircle of nice river rocks around the Buddha statue that sits behind the Nembutsu carved stone. And river rock marking much more clearly the path through the woods, as you can see. And up at the Stupa, we've got the very large river rock forming an oval. You'll recognize Sakyamuni Buddha. So off this offshoot from the path, you can see those large stones forming a broad perimeter, and smaller river rock and large river rock immediately surrounding the stupa. I'm going to go around the front to show the view that you would see from the sitting rock. Zooming out, there you have it. And in the background you can see that oval of large river rocks that extend essentially from the sitting rock to the Diamond Sutra quote and around to that tree. And you can see here the side of the stupa with the rocks that are immediately around it. And my wheelbarrow there. And I got 4 more pallets of rocks today. First, let's just go around. You can see some smaller rocks surrounding the base of the holly. And those large, beautiful river rocks extending over to the 3 refuges, with one substantial rock between the 3 refuges and the outcropping of the path. It's starting to get to be fall, with leaves coming down from the trees. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. Swinging around, we've got the big river rock, and again now another pallet of river rock, medium-sized, And what we're doing here, what I'm doing is trying to repair some of the tracks left by the forklift, but what I'm doing is making piles there so that we can transfer dirt over to the back of the stupa on the ground there to create a more level surface to then place these flat rocks as a path. And I've brought down just a very few of the flat rocks, but you'll see which ones I have when we go there up by the road, because he couldn't get them any closer without getting stuck in the mud. But you can see that these are beautiful flat rocks, which they refer to here locally as mountain mist. Thick, should be sturdy. And up by the road you can see the other 3 pallets, which is going to be a huge job to get those things down into the woods because they are very heavy. And again, ideally, before placing each one, we can indent the earth a little bit and put sand underneath to make them more stable. So here, get a little closer to this one pallet. You can see the color. What I'm going to do is just trot up into the street and take a look at these 3 pallets from a different angle. Scrolling out, 3 right next to each other, and you can perhaps see the stupa down below, way below, which is where these rocks need to go. I'm going to then turn the recorder off and catch back up down there on the path. Back to the stupa. Those are the black rocks that I've used to shim the thing to make it a little more stable. And onto the offshoot of the path, which now is much more well defined, with river rocks more substantial and a greater number of river rocks on each side of the path. Again, you can't see the flat rocks very good under this path because of the leaves, but I did get a battery operated leaf blower, and that'll make it easier for me to clear those stones off when the weather permits. It has been raining non-stop here for the past 4 days, which I wish I could transfer some of it to California, but in any case, it's probably fairly typical fall weather for here in North Carolina. Now, that's where the stones end as far as the right hand side, and so now that I have another pallet, I can put more of those and complete the border of this path. Coming back out and turning to the left away from the house is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And interestingly, you know, that has to do with the Lotus Sutra. I'm about to do a recitation of the 17th chapter, which is the chapter after the 16th, that being the chapter that focuses on the eternal life of the Buddha. And I say, interestingly, the 17th chapter talks about the blessings associated with believing in the eternal life of the Buddha, and in particular also talks about that there will be a stupa erected in that place where the Lotus Sutra is recited. And so that appears to be happening. That's in the front next to a Japanese maple, Kuan Yin, made out of rosin. And I would like to put a Kuan Yin back by the stupa. I don't know how big or what type, but I have a smallish one made of bronze, and I may use that one. So here next to the house, the path continues on down, and you can see the lantern down there at the end. Namo Meetables.